Tuesday, January the 31st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. We are drawing January to a close with just a fantastic weather day today. Sunshine, highs well into the 60s across the region. A beautiful day to get out there and spend some time outside. Now, I've been talking for a little while now about a pattern change as we get into February. Still looks like there will be an overall change in the pattern across North America, but still some uncertainty as to exactly what that's going to mean here across our part of North America. I'll get into that. I'll spend a lot of time in the longer range here as this edition of the video unfolds. Now, the radar very quiet across our part of the country this morning, but notice the rain breaking out in Texas and Louisiana into southern Mississippi. That's the moisture beginning to build with our next system. That'll bring us some shower chances coming up tomorrow night and into Thursday morning. Look at the mild air surging north ahead of a cold front. You have temperatures in the 40s around Chicago this morning, some 50s over much of Missouri, and then even some 60s down into Oklahoma, Arkansas, and into Texas and Louisiana. So it's a mild morning in a lot of spots. Now still relatively chilly here across our region, a lot of 30s on the board, but that milder air definitely in the process of surging in with a zonal flow. There's the upper air chart for today, that southwest flow will give us some mild temperatures coming up over the next few days. Now watch what happens as we get deeper into this week. This is Friday morning. There's that upper level low beginning to cut off in the Rockies, and it's going to be a very, very slow mover as we go forward in time. In fact, this is the European model. Let's go all the way out to 156 hours. This is Monday morning. That upper air low is still sitting in Nebraska. Slow-moving system. Finally, it moves into our region around Tuesday night or Wednesday morning on the latest European model, and then a nice trough setting itself up across the eastern U.S. as we get deeper into next week. Now, let's go aloft here and take a look at the Northern Hemisphere view. Now, this is off the European model, and this is out at Thursday evening of this week, so 72 hours away. A nice ridge near the western part of the country. But, again, due to that cutoff low, it kind of bottles up the cold air temporarily off to our north. Let's go out in time to 168 hours, and this is, again, out to early next week, Monday evening. And now you have that west coast ridging all the way up into Alaska. That closed upper low finally moving eastward, and then as you get a little bit out further in the run, this is out at 240 hours on the European. You're looking at that ridge still in place all the way up, really getting close to the pole on the European, and that allows the polar vortex to slide into southeastern parts of Canada. And in terms of what that means for the temperatures up at 850 millibars, about 5,000 feet. This is out at 240 hours. And again, underneath that polar vortex, you have very cold air. It just remains to be seen when and if how much that cold air will plunge into the eastern part of the country. We're in a pattern change right now, and the models are always going to have a tough time when you're in that period of change in the atmosphere. So you can continue to expect, I think, for a couple of days, some wild swings in the modeling. Now, let me go back to the upper air chart again. This is 240 hours on the European. Contrast that with the GFS. Now, again, there are some similarities, but notice here on the, let's go back to the European, the trough is centered a little bit further west overall, and the polar vortex is nowhere to be found in southeastern Canada on the GFS. But compare that with the ensemble mean, and that looks a whole lot more like the European. That's the GFS ensemble mean at 240. There's the European at 240, and they look strikingly similar. So I would lean kind of in the direction of the European and the GFS ensemble mean as we get deeper into the medium range. Now, let's take it day by day, and I'll show you where the GFS wants to give us a period to watch for a potential winter storm down the road. But, all right, here we are today. Beautiful day, 60s, lots of sunshine. Clouds roll in tonight and tomorrow. I think most of us, except maybe the mountains, stay dry through the day tomorrow, but then we do have some showers move in tomorrow night, Thursday morning. Rain amounts do not look very impressive with this quick-hitting system. Out to Friday, we see some chilly high pressure over Canada begin to kind of build down into our region, but still nothing really cold about Friday. Maybe upper 50s for a lot of us Friday afternoon. But then over the weekend, not the greatest looking weekend forecast here. There's your low pressure centered back over Missouri. High pressure centered over the western Great Lakes, and it's kind of wedging down the eastern side of the mountains into our area. And that's going to give us some chilly rain as we go through the weekend. So it looks like Saturday, a lot of us in the cold air damming regions, probably in the 40s for highs with rain around. And then on Sunday, The GFS wants to keep at least some light rain around, and I threw this in just to show you. This is the Canadian model early Sunday afternoon. Keeps it wet all day and very chilly for Sunday as well. Verbatim, though, for the Carolinas, this is a rain event, albeit a fairly chilly rain event. But in time, you could see some snow work into the Virginias and maybe some type of other wintry precip too in parts of the Virginias. But these are all details that will have to be ironed out a little bit later in the week. Now, in terms of Monday, the GFS has a system pulling away from us. I will note the European still wants to bring another little piece of energy with another shot of rain late Monday or Monday night. Further out in time, there's the big Arctic high spilling into the middle part of the country on the GFS. That is Wednesday of next week, and that is a 1044 millibar big Arctic high. That's really cold air. And then still, you have this potential system the GFS wants to pop around the 11th. That's Saturday week. And it's been pretty persistent with that idea of a system kind of tracking through the Gulf and off the Carolina coast at that point in time. So that might be one to watch. Again, remember, the European is a kind of a different orientation with things by that point in time, but we'll see if that winds up being something to watch down the road. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a wonderful day. Enjoy the great weather, and God bless.